Alright guys, welcome back to Eternal Darkness. No screwing around today, I'm getting straight into chapter 9, I'm getting this next boss killed, and then it's just going to be fun in the sun with the elephant gun for an entire chapter. I can't wait. And I get to enjoy this cool loading screen music again. I'll eventually use it to scare a friend or a family member at some point. Now this chapter page is actually right here. An unseen force guides Alex's hand toward the painting, compelling her to look behind it. She reaches out and pulls back the painting, and discovers a chapter page hidden behind it. Yes, I'm going to grab that. A sense of familiarity overcomes her, and as the chapter page comes to her fingers, so does the realization that Roberto's spirit is aiding her. And this trigger a cutscene. Surprise, surprise.
The Black Guardian grows restless, my liege. Its hunger increases, and the binding continues to weaken. We feed it flesh, but I fear it will not guard the relic too much longer.
There is no choice in the matter. It must remain and guard the artifact until the time of planetary alignment. After that, the Guardian may return to its lair. Our master does not like failure. It is imperative to keep the binding intact.
Then we have to find more flesh and bone.
So basically, that story is Black Guardian's getting restless, but that's not even going to matter because we're going to kill him.
The war to end all wars redefined how mankind looked at war and the value of human life. Over 19,000 men lost their lives every day in the trenches of the Somme. Some say uselessly, some invoke a higher cause. I read accounts of the slaughter from many journalists who spent time in the trenches, but I found the account of a certain Peter Jacob to be the most horrible of all. His implication about the ancients' involvement with the war was hideous and so obvious. With the horror of the Battle of the Somme scant miles away and the distant echoes of pounding artillery, a young journalist named Peter Jacob researched his latest story from the front lines. His grim task brought him to Oubliette Cathedral, now transformed into a field hospital.
I find no solace in the purpose behind all the senseless violence that surrounds me. Young men die at a rate unheard of in centuries of warfare. Shelling, machine guns, and mustard gas rip, pierce, and burn their flesh. Men soak gauze in their own urine to stop the insidious gas. The hospitals here cannot cope with the torrent of wounded.
So, Peter actually starts with a couple of interesting items in his inventory, and I'll briefly go over them before I get started. An old coin marked in a peculiar manner. It has held sentimental value for someone. Whoever holds the penny will undoubtedly receive good fortune. So that lucky penny will come to play a little bit later, but this is a little bit more interesting. This is a photographer's flash pan used to hold combustible powders that when ignited create a large white flash. This can be used to stun some enemies. I've screwed around with this before, and it's actually pretty effective. It stunned an entire room full of zombies for about 7 or 8 seconds, so it isn't bad. A soldier's letter lies on the table waiting to be sent home. Well, I'm going to pocket that because I'm a kleptomaniac. And let's read it because flavor. First letter from Private Reginald Jackson to his love Margaret. Reginald Jackson is like the most British name I've ever heard in my life. It's great. I was admitted to this hospital on Tuesday. The damage caused to my legs was slight, but there is no way that I could ever walk normally again. I hate this place. Every day I am reminded that I will never be able to do the things I love. The hospital is a very strange place. Converted from an old cathedral, there is an odd atmosphere around it. Silent but for the words of the wounded calling out in the night. There is no doubt it is haunted. What if I find really? That was my grammar? What I find most odd in this place is that you never see anyone leave during the day. It's not right. No goodbyes or farewells, just an empty bed when you wake. You don't actually do anything with that. It's just for flavor text. They do a pretty good job of like immersing you into the world with the flavor text. I especially love just walking around and examining everything that you can, just because it gives interesting sounding descriptions of everything. It's great. I love it. You can even talk to the people here. With a motherly voice, the nurse advises that Peter get some rest. I'd love to, but all the beds are taken by all these dying people. The soldier is rather distressed. Perhaps he has lost a lot of friends to the trenches of the Somme. He confides that the only stories are sad ones and that the only true heroes are in the mortuary. Oh, man. Oh, man. Talk to this guy. No, even though the camera zooms in on him. What the hell? Oh, I'm aiming at the nurse? Really? Really? That's front page material right there, I guess. Never done that before. That's interesting. Now, I want to play the organ. The guard frowns and ushers Peter away from the organ. He explains that it is one of the few antiques in the region that has so far survived the war, and that while he's alive, it will remain intact. Well, you'll be dead soon, so that won't be a problem. Let's go check this out. Surprise, surprise, you get the 7-point circle of power in this chapter. An odd collection of colored lines decorate the wall. Below the design steps appear to lead up into the wall going nowhere. I guess I shall reveal the truth about that one later on. Aha, 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 aha. And the item that you actually need is over here. Suck it up, Peter. You got a bit more running to do than this, chump. Peter finds a sealed envelope that seems to have been left behind. Well, I might as well take it. Give me a second to catch my breath so I can make the 50-yard dash to the front door. And I've never examined this before. Oh, because it's nothing. Okay, fine. Be that way. You actually do need this, so I'm going to open it up right now. And I'll read these. An official note on army regulation is stationary. The note reads, Private Thompson, by order of Lieutenant Hargraves on behalf of HRH George V. I assume that's George V, not just George V. That would be a little bit mean. You are to leave your post of duty and rally in the street outside Oublier Cathedral. Further orders will be presented at the rallying point. God save the king. This is easily the most British chapter in this entire game. Abruptly, the guard asks if Peter has clearance for the old tower, as it is a restricted area. Well, I could if I really wanted to. Oh, there's also a guy guarding the steps at the bottom too, which I should talk to. Or who I should talk to. I know what I mean. I haven't examined this. The altar is cleared of all valuables, not only to prevent looting, but also to afford space for medical supplies and even as an operating table should the need arise. No, stop it. I thought I'd get a return option there, but sadly I did not. The guard quietly but strongly points out that the area is off limits to civilians. Bitch, I'm a photographer. Okay, fine. Gotta catch my breath again, because I'm a squishy little weakling. Man, I made a 2-kilometer walk yesterday, so surely you can do better than this. Oh, really? Rule number 1, cardio. Seriously. Don't want to get myself too exhausted. I've got to space out the sprinting. A little bit of walking, a little bit of sprinting. Yeah. The guard shifts about, obviously bored with his duty and awaiting a replacement or perhaps a call to arms. Well, good news for you, old chap, because you get the soldier's orders. The guard unfolds the orders and begins to read them before exclaiming, Bloody hell, lad, we must be on the offensive. Following the orders, he takes leave of his post. And he fucks off, so I can go in here now. Now, this is kind of cool. There's a bit of flavor text involved with these. Designed to muster patriotic feelings, these posters declare that the Allies are fighting the good fight. It's small comfort for the occupants of the room whose spent corpses line the cold cathedral floor. The poster on the right there actually changes if your sanity is low enough, and I'll definitely be coming back to show you what it changes to. Shouldn't take very long. It's Bonethieves galore in this chapter. Stacked like logs, Peter stands before the price of human war. The bloodied corpses of young men who have made the ultimate sacrifice to defend their own countries and those of others. A revolver lies abandoned on a nearby pew. Yeah, we're going to get my pew on the pew. And you have to pick that up to make this happen. So there's screaming and electricity happening outside, apparently. And once you exit here, we're back into the screamy face hallway. Don't you love this place? I know, I never get tired of coming here. Roberta's statue is already waiting for us. Look at him, he looks so jolly. What a guy. This text is always the same, so I'm going to skip it. And that last frame that showed up looks like some kind of Looney Tunes, That's All Folks type thing, doesn't it? It's great. Now, I need to prepare myself because there are Bonethieves right outside this door. Now, the funny thing about Bonethieves, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but they can actually dodge bullets. But they can only dodge if they're not in the middle of an attack animation, so you can actually kill them with the revolver. And with the rifle that I'll be getting pretty shortly. Oh, okay, smarty pants. Ah, I see. So, when he was doing his swing, he dodged, but when he was doing his leap up on your face animation, then that's when they can't dodge. I was not aware of that. Although scared enough to run, the journalist in Peter is determined to uncover the full story of the cathedral no matter what it entails. To the bloody end, Peter decides to stay. I would make a really bad Dead Rising joke, but no, I'll save it. I'll save you, lady! Did I save you? I don't think I saved you. I could not save you. Goodbye. I'll just run through all these Bonethieves and drain my sanity into nothing. Now I think there's a rifle here. Yes, there is. A rifle lies on the altar, probably discarded by a fleeing guard. Well, let's take that. Gotta take everything. Now I'll just make a loop around here. Trick everyone with my mad loop skills. Apparently the Bonethief caught wind of it. Must escape, must escape. Okay. Another douchebag Bonethief in here. Bugs crawling on my screen, naturally. And he's dead. Perfect. Seriously, can you get the fuck off my screen? You know, I live in a place where bugs roam everywhere. At all times, always. And it's gonna be a little bit... Oh, fuck. I'll save you, lady. Oh, I'll save myself. There's a melee weapon up here. Which I'm going to grab. You need to stop hanging around my sanity meter, you dick. Oh my god, now they're everywhere. But what have you done? You've been breeding. You son of a bitch. An aged wooden plaque on the wall bears a two-edged sword. Yes, this is going to be my bread and butter for this chapter. I'm enchanting that shit right away. Sucks that the bugs on my screen disappeared once I examined the sword. Disappointing. Now then, other Bonethief. Excuse me. Ma'am. Ma'am. Seriously. Ma'am. Oh, you're a dick. Okay, there we go. You moved. So did that Bonethief get you while I was away? Okay, well. You know, I thought we had something special. I love that finish them off animation too. Finish them off animation. Finish him animation. I know what I mean. Oh, hey, fellas. Ow. I actually got hit. Wow. And the finishing animation is great. Oh, I wanted to do it there, but I guess I'll just pick up ammo. Just 3 hits with the sword. No subtlety at all. Just die, you fuck. A torch hangs upon the wall. Well, I'm going to take the torch. Spoiler alert. I love how the enchanted weapons glow on the surrounding environment. It looks great. I love it. Now then, might as well examine the altar while I'm here. The altar stands wreathed in cold mist. As Peter nears the stone, a sense of deep woe gnaws at his heart. The cathedral is undoubtedly evil and not the holy place he had thought it to be. I love reading the flavor text in this game. It's so good, thoughtfully constructed, etc., etc. Kiss developers' ass. Kill Bonethief that fucking waited for me. Yeah, kill 2 more people. Fuck all these guys. I don't think there's much I can do to improve my odds of survival here. Are these guys gonna follow me? They're not putting in much effort. You guys suck. Alright, new plan. If I do a 5-point damage field under Mantarok, Come on, just a little bit closer. You morons. I have my own prison now. You call it cruelty to animals. I call it, well, okay, it's cruelty to dicks, because they are trying to kill me, so leave me alone. I cast my shield spell in front of your face. So what's your plan now, douchebags? Mandrake-aligned damage field adds a poison effect if anybody gets hit by it. I was about to say electrocuted by it, but yeah, both make sense. A guard lies dead at the foot of the steps, viciously assassinated by the creatures now infesting the cathedral. He went quickly and without much of a struggle. Oh man. Now I believe there's another one around here. If I can see him. Oh, you know what might help? Might make me being able to see him easier. A torch. One of the cathedral's guards lies dead by his post. His death was sudden and violent, his broken limbs twisted at odd angles, with a trickle of blood issuing from his mouth and ears. I don't think I'll ever get tired of complimenting this game's flavor text. It's so good. And now I can play the organ. Fuck you, other guy. A piece of very odd paper sits on the pipe organ, callously misplaced and forgotten. Hopefully you remember the combination. I do. The shelling has knocked out the cathedral's generator. The organ cannot be used without a supply of power. It can probably be used if the power is stored. Alright, well, let's go do that. I need to enchant my weapon again. Might be somewhat telling that the weapon goes through me as it's being enchanted. Just blade straight up my ass. And some rifle ammo. I don't think there's anything of actual interest in this room aside from the ammo. A desk kept meticulously clean. Peter is surprised that it is not more chaotic for a frontline hospital. After all, isn't this where the death certificates are written? Oh, good. Lovely, great. And what's in here? Lightning, apparently. Revolver ammo. Probably some stuff I can examine. Yes. But no text. Any text here? I want more text, man. Like the Marie Celeste, the desk hasn't been touched in some time, as though its user suddenly turned away and never returned. A half-written letter bespeaks silent, unfinished activity. I've never examined that before. I had no idea that was there. I'll eventually go through this game on my own and just examine everything. Go as slow as possible. Because, man, this flavor text is just too good to pass up. There's just so much of it. The workings of the pipe organ have remained mostly the same since installation. Excuse me. Originally the bellows were driven manually, now they are steam-powered and the organ controlled electrically. This might be one of the oldest restored pipe organs in the world. Well, you wouldn't want it to break then, that would be a shame. Now, I believe there's 3 trappers. Blue screen! Yes! Pause the video right now. Read. It's great.
This isn't really happening.
I'm so happy right now. That's the best sanity effect in the entire game, in my opinion. The text is just hilarious. Again, if you missed it, go back, pause it, and read all of it. It's just hilarious. There's like, press Control, delete furiously to assert futile control over the system or something like that. It's hilarious. You can tell that there are no trappers in the room because I wouldn't be able to swivel the aim like this. Trappers only have one point at which you can lock onto them. So, it's a good way to tell if there's any around. I'm going to want the torch for this. Old, rusty, but faithful for many years, a coal-burning boiler provides heat and steam to the cathedral complex. There is currently no pressure being diverted to the generator. Should Peter turn the wheel? Yes, Peter should turn the wheel. However, that's not the only thing you should do in this room. Summon a trapper as well. Doesn't matter what alignment, I'll go Zelatath for the fuck of it. Okay, Zelatath. Jeez, fine. Oh, look, he's so cute. He's green too. Now, send this guy to the... Wait a minute. Examine him first. The body of a soldier, a patient from the hospital, lies slumped against the door. Trying to hide from the horror, he had barricaded himself inside the room before succumbing to his wounds. Aww. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't... Son of a bitch. I wanted to send into the trapper dimension, not fucking... You know what? Fine. What do you mean creatures can visit on this occasion? Oh, I have no sanity. Duh. Okay, recover. Cast 3 point. I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't that work? I was so confused. That's never happened before. Alright, well, take 2. There we go. We're good. Sorted it out. If I wasn't so busy examining the corpse, I would have had it done earlier. Goodbye, sir. Now that he's gone, we can go in here, and I can take the 7-point Circle of Power. A Circle of Power sits atop a stack of crates in the middle of the room. Oh yeah, sign me up. Give me. Can actually use that thing as a medallion too. Wait a minute. Okay.